Good evening, everyone. Happy to have you guys on here. Let me first talk about the purpose of this meeting tonight. This is our weekly onboarding call. So it's two purposes really. For new people that start, it's for an opportunity for them to kind of get a brief overview of what the business looks like, some of the things that you need to do, and secondly, if you've been in the business, it's kind of a two-part. Lola, just see who's need to be muted. I mean, Justin. Sorry, there's someone on here I think it's Jorge. Just keep an eye on that for me, Justin. And the second part is, if you've been in the business, just to kind of learn how to do this and learn where you can show other people how to do it. But really, we built this system so that you didn't have to do any of that. And you could just direct people to these calls. You can direct people to the website. So we built all these resources so you can really spend time building your business. But how I learned how to do this was sitting on calls with Sarah, Kyle, people in my organization for 6-8 weeks to really learn how to talk about this business, how to get around in the back office. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to talk about that. So first of all, welcome to the team. If you're already a part of the team, I'm still going to say welcome again, because I'm really truly excited that you're here tonight again. I see some familiar faces on here, which always excites me, because it means that you are really learning how to do this and really trying to hear this over and over and over. Business, life, success is all about repetition. And I'm truly excited that you guys are all here tonight. And I want you to know this decision can truly be a turning point for you. If it's restarting your business tonight, if it's just getting started in your business, it is the pinnacle part of getting your business started. So before we go, I just want to ask a quick question before we jump into this. I like to jump around. Joe, you always have your camera on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So does Shannon. Always camera. It's always a different background all the time. Still a pink cast on, I see. Hey, sorry, how are you? Good to see you. If you guys would just turn your cameras on, it just makes it a lot better experience for everyone. We do these Zoom calls so that we can connect with you. In this world that we live in now with, Sario's in Mexico and, people are all over, we at least can connect. And it's a lot better for me to see faces where I can pop around and look around and connect with you. So if you wouldn't mind turning your camera on, it would be greatly appreciated, because it's just a lot better interaction with me. And it gives me better energy as well. So also, I like to connect with you face to face so that when I see you at an event, I can say, oh my God, yes. The weird thing about Zoom is typically the person is not as short or as tall as you think they are when you meet them. So I'm 6'3". When most people meet me, they're like, I thought you were like 5'8", 5'9", and then I'm tall. So that's the thing about Zoom, you can only see this little box, right? But at least I can see the little box, I can see your face, and I get to know you. So I want you guys to know that you guys aren't simply just joining a team or a company. You guys are stepping into something that is way bigger than that. And that is, this is a movement. I truly see this as a movement for humanity. And what makes this so powerful, you guys, is that it spreads through people who decide to show up. And you guys are showing up tonight. Like I said, there's some people on here that show up every single week. And when you show up, that's half of it, right? You got to show up to learn and to lead. And so I want to start with what matters most on this call tonight. And that's this thing between your ears right here. This brain, your mindset, the way you manage that. Because if you're just starting, you could be really excited about this new opportunity. But what really matters is managing this mind when it doesn't go the way that you expected it to or you want it to go, that you can still manage your mind. The way you show up for the business is going to determine how fast you're going to build momentum and how far you're truly going to go in this business. The coolest thing about this is when you guys decided to start this business, if it was a year ago, 2 years ago, a week ago, a day ago, you decided you're going to be an entrepreneur. And that's a cool thing, because you need to take it really serious when you're an entrepreneur. That means you run, that means you own, that means you control the business. And that means you're building something real, something with a purpose. I've my whole entire life, every business, I was in the insurance business, I was in the coaching business, I was in the marketing business. I did cause marketing. Everything that I've done in my life is with a purpose to help people. And the same thing with this business. David has created a product that is absolutely amazing, you guys. So you have to treat it like it's a real business with seriousness, consistency, and heart. Now, what we've done is we've built a system where you could truly, the part of the business that you really need to focus on is just talking to as many people as you possibly can about this device. I mean, when you have the transformations that I've had and seen the transformations that I've seen, it's very, very easy for me to do that. Now, one of the biggest keys is learning. So if you've been in the business right now, you're learning and listening to me talk so that you can take some of these pieces and add it to your conversation sometimes. Understand how to get around the back office. Understand how to get around wellnessrev.org, which I'll show you in a minute. We've built these incredible resources for you, and I want you to use them. We've spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, because we want you to have the tools to be absolutely successful, where you could focus on what's really going to build this business. Because this is what I know. Keller Williams is the biggest real estate agency in the world. And they focus on one thing and one thing only. And it's not marketing. They focus on training. They don't spend a dime on marketing. You don't see commercials from them. You don't see any of that. What they spend time on is training their agents. And that's what you need to spend time on. You got to spend time on self-development and training yourself. Because what I know is that knowledge creates confidence. And I know that confidence also creates momentum. When you have that confidence, things start to move faster because you start to be more consistent. You start to be disciplined. And that's what is so important in this business, is that consistency. Now, I want to show you our website. This is one of the resources that we have. I'm going to go through it really, really fast. I'm going to fly through this stuff, okay, you guys? Because I have a lot of stuff to get through. But if you guys go to wellnessrev.org, okay, this is the website right here. The thing I want you to focus on the most is this onboarding tab. When you click on onboarding, if you've been in this business a while and you have not gone through the 20-day onboarding launch system, you need to go through here. And the way this was built is to do this one day at a time, 10 minutes a day. If you're going to the bathroom, if you're on the treadmill, if you're just sitting at a stoplight, whatever it is, you can pull this up on your phone, go to wellnessrev.org, and then you're going to go to day one, click on day one, and you're going to watch the 4 videos. It's going to show you certain things, but it's all strategically put. By the end of 20 days, you are fully sufficient in this business and know how to talk about this business. And then all you're going to do when you bring people in, you're going to point them here. This is the first thing you're going to do. You're going to this 20-day onboarding system, okay? Now, also on here, if you scroll through, there's an 8-step launch plan. These are the things that are really, really important. I wrote a book based around this, how to launch a business, how to launch a relationship. This is what you need to do in the first few days, okay? Now, there's also school. This is a training platform that we've put on our website, and all you have to do is go in and register. But when you join our school system, what you're gonna see is all of the, it's telling me to join, I'm already a member, but what you're gonna see in here is all the courses that we have, okay? I have my course in there that I used to sell for $2,500. It's a Success Psyche course, free on our website. So please go into this website and make sure that you are looking at all the things that we have on there. We have comp plan training, right? We have 9 videos that breaks down exactly the 9 ways that we get paid. They're very, very short videos, or 2 to 3 minutes, but they're very, very detailed so that you can get a quick hit. We have a community tab. Under the community tab, we recognize, the top people. You can see here every month, people that ranked up. Brand Partner of the Month, every single month we've recognized here. And then we have a book club. Shannon is in our book club. There's a couple people on this call that are in our book club. We meet every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we read 75 pages a week, 15 pages a day, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we discuss that book every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We've gone through, I've been doing this, I don't even know how many years now, but since 2019, 7 years, and we've read, I think, over 250 books. And it takes us about a month, 3 weeks to a month to read every single book when you read 15 pages a day, okay? So you can join that club here. Also, all the books that we've ever read are right here. So if you want to go buy these books, all you have to do is just click on the book, and it's going to take you right to Amazon, and you're going to be able to buy the books that we've read, that we've gone through, okay? So also, I don't know why this blew up like this, but we have a testimonial tab, we have a wellness regimen tab, and then this is our resource tab. Go through there. We have every single resource that you would possibly need we have the opportunity call presentation. If you want to do an opportunity call, all you gotta do is click on this call from our website and you can actually do it right here. You can download the PowerPoint or you can go right into the presentation right here and do it right from this website. So we've made this very, very, very easy for you guys to use. Get in there and play with it. You can't break it. There's a lot of information that we want you to go in and look at on there, okay? Now, our school training platform has step-by-step modules, you guys, that it's going to take you through with short videos. It's going to take you through the details of things. What I suggest people to do is take 10 minutes a day. It's not a lot of time, 10 minutes every single day. If you haven't done this and you've been in the business, you should go through it yourself. That way when you point people over there, you know what they're going to see, okay? And then the weekly trainings. Like I said, Joe Kendrick is on here almost every week. We have trainings on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday's opportunity call, Wednesday's testimonial call, Thursday's our training calls, and also our opportunity call again. We have them in Spanish and in English. Make sure that you get on those calls so that you can learn this business, even if it's just listening to it in the background or if it's listening to the recording. Make sure that you're doing that every single week. And I know, listen, life gets in the way, you guys. Life gets in the way. And you're gonna miss a live call, no problem. Just make it a priority to watch the replay. Because every training you do in this business, you guys, is a step forward. Keller Williams became #1 all-around training. You don't have to train for years in this business. A couple weeks in this business, I promise you, you're gonna know a lot and you're gonna be a lot better. Because every single call is gonna build skill, belief, certainty. You're gonna learn new things. Now, another thing that's really important in this business, and that's belief. Belief is everything. Because this, guys, is just not another supplement. It's not another gadget. This is technology. This device can truly change lives. If you get on our testimonial calls on Wednesday, the testimonials that I hear from people all over the place are just, it's just so crazy to me, and it just validates every single week why I do this. Because when you believe deeply, like I do, sharing becomes such a natural process for you. Passion will become so contagious. And the best part of this is you guys are not doing this alone, right? We're a huge team that you can lean on. We have resources that you can use. We've created this proven system. You don't have to reinvent anything. You just have to follow what works. I came into this industry in 2019 with my wife. I didn't like the industry, but when I came in, what I realized was there was no system. People were just kind of running around and just kind of talking about things. And I had a system in every business that I ever had. And that's why we created this system, so that you have a system to plug into and can start your business quick. So invite people to the opportunity calls. The reason we have opportunity calls is not just a training call. The way I use those opportunity calls for me is, I'm not doing it every week. But I always tell people, hey, listen, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, we're having an opportunity call where we're talking about the device and the patch. I would love to get your opinion on what you think about it. I don't ask people to join and sell them. I just want to get their opinion, and everyone loves to give their opinion. So use the tools, you guys. Make sure your team, when you sign people up, they know about the tools. Lean on the term, and let's build this together, you guys. This is a team effort. The great thing is we don't have employees. The bad thing sometimes is we don't have employees, right? We have to inspire people. We have to motivate people to come into this business and do what it's going to take. Because listen, this is what I would tell you. I met a gentleman in Honolulu when we were on a company trip. He was a Marine. He was driving Uber. And I was in the car with Dr. Catherine and her husband. And I just started talking to him, making a conversation. And I said, you know, what do you do besides drive Uber? And he said, I'm a Marine. I was like, oh, do they not pay you enough where you have to do a second job? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm a new baby. He's like, plus, you know, I just bought a new motorcycle. My wife's mad at me, so that's why I'm also driving pretty late on a Sunday night. And so I just said, listen, let me ask you something. If I could show you something, and I could teach you something, and this question is for all of you, because this is the truth, and I want you to think about this. If I was giving you a magic wand, I was giving you the ingredients, I was giving you a lottery ticket, and I said for the next 2 to 3 years, if you do exactly everything that I tell you to do for 2 years and you're consistent with it, and you can make $10,000 a week, would you do it? And every time I ask that question, everyone says yes. I'd do it. If I can make $40,000 a month, that'd be life-changing. So what I'm going to teach you guys tonight, and what you guys can get from these resources, if you're consistent with this business, I can promise you, 2 to 3 years from now, your life will look completely different. Now, most people, we're in a society of immediate results, right? We have our phones, we can ChatGPT, we can Claude, we can Google, we can do all these things that are immediate gratification. We can find answers. But we think life and business is that way too. And what I will tell you about business is compounding. But you gotta do it consistently every day. And it's small things, you guys. You can spend 30 minutes talking to people every single day, 5 days a week in this business, and I can assure you in 24 to 36 months, your life will be very, very different. And you can make $10,000 a week off this business if you just do that consistently. Right? So I want to show you guys the back office real quick with LifeWave. Let me log into that real quick. So, a couple things that I want to show you. Now, all of this, what I'm going to show you tonight, I'm going to fly through it really fast, okay? Because I don't want to keep you guys on here all night long. All of this training that I'm going to show you is also on our website. It's also in school. So everything I'm going to teach you, you can go into our website and there's short little videos on everything that I'm teaching, right? But I like to go through it when you're new, just so you know where to find it, okay? So, one of the things that I want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to navigate confidently, because I want, when people ask you a question, I want you to point them to the website. I want you to point them to school, because if they could call you for the answers, now you become the LifeWave encyclopedia, and that's not a sustainable, duplicatable business, okay? So I want to show you so that you're very, very familiar with where you can get this stuff from, okay? So your profile. If you just started your business, your profile is the most important thing. And how you update that is, you see up here, I have my name of my company. Now I have mine in LLC. All my business are LLC, because everything I do with LifeWave, you guys, I write off, right? My office that you see me sitting in right now, I get to write this off 100% every single year, 100% of the square footage, because I run my business from this office, right? Gas, meetings, food, all of that gets written off on my taxes. So that's why you see a wellness revolution. But what you want to do is you want to go in and change settings, okay? This is how you update your profile. So you can see all these edit buttons over here with your picture, with your name, you know, how you want to be recognized, your profile, your addresses, payment methods, how you want to get paid, all of that. Go through each one of these tabs and update all of that information, okay? Now the other important thing under this tab is how you change your legs, okay? So what that means is this is a binary system. You have to have two legs, one on the left and one on the right. Every time you sign someone up, you want to build your organization evenly, meaning you want to put one on the right, you want to put one on the left every time you sign somebody up. And where you change that is right here. When you go under that, same exact thing, change settings, you're gonna go down a little bit, and it's right here. Build left, build right. Strong leg outside. Don't click on that. Just build left, build right. Now let's just say you forgot to change your legs when you sign someone up. Customer service gives you 5 days to call and change it so that you can get them on the right leg. You just have to call up customer service, and they will help you change that. Okay? Now, your monthly subscription. I'm doing these in order of importance, okay? You see up here this tab, monthly subscription orders. I'm gonna click on that, okay? Now, you can see I have a monthly subscription order, $600 a month. These are the patches I'm getting, X39, X49, Cellular Eon, Carnosine, and X39 patches, okay? If there's nothing here, you need to make sure that your auto ship is set up. And the reason why is because you have to have at least $59 a month to stay active, meaning to get paid. If you don't have an auto ship pay, you can lose all the volume and the legs that are coming in, because the unique thing about a binary is people that you don't even know could be giving you volume on a leg. And if that volume is stacking on a leg and you're not active, you could lose all your money. So you just need to make sure you have at least one X39 in auto ship. Now, if you have not done that, the way that you do this is you go over to Store, Patches, and click on the Patches button. Okay, and then let's just say we're going to do X39. okay? Click on the X39. And it's going to bring up this where you're going to say add to monthly subscription orders, okay? You're going to click on that add to monthly subscription orders. Now it says it's been added to your auto order. That's not exactly true, okay? It put it in your cart right here. You got to click on that cart and then check out, okay? Now, after you check out, go back in to monthly subscription orders, and if it's set up right, it's going to be there. Just make sure that you have this set up correctly. This is very, very important, okay? All right, now, how do you get your enrollment link? Someone says, hey, how do I sign up for this business? You're going to go to organization, enroll new, global enrollment, and you're going to say, I'm not a robot, join now. Again, we have this all on the website. It's very, very slowed down. You're going to copy and paste this link up here in your search bar, okay? We have some training on the platform on technology, how to use AI, how to use ManyChat, how to use boards, where you can save your thing on your keyboard. But what I tell people for now, until you go through that training, put it in your notes on your phone. Open up notes, put this link in, my enrollment link. That way when someone says, hey, I want your link, you can go to your notes, copy, paste, and text it to them, WhatsApp it, Instagram it, Facebook it, whatever you want to do. So it's at your fingertips, okay? This is if someone wants to sign up as a brand partner. If they want to be a customer, you have two links. You click on Preferred Customer Program, and you're going to go up there and you're going to copy and paste this and put it in your notes. So you have your brand partner, and then you have your customer. That's how you get your link. And again, all this training is on the platform for you to go in, and it's even on the website. You don't have to go to school. It's right on the onboarding tab, okay? All right, checking your commissions. We get paid every day. Now, we get paid once a week, but there's money going into our account every single day. How you check that is you go into commissions, click on commissions, and it's going to show you your commissions for every single commission that you get paid for. It's that simple, okay? Now, here's how you upgrade your package. If you want to go from a core to advanced or advanced plus or premium, you could do that one time, okay? And that gives you a lot less than wholesale price on it. How you do that is you go over here to store, and down here under sales tools, if you have not got if you don't have the premium package, I have the premium package. If you don't have the premium package, it's going to say upgrade package right under sales tool. You're going to click on that, pick the package you want to upgrade to, and again, it's a one-time thing that you can do, but that's how you upgrade your package, okay? And so there's the resource tab back here in the back office. This is a good one in the education. Spend 10 minutes a day, just go through all the resources in here. There's different videos, there's different information, New Products USA, New LifeWave Now app. Just click on these tabs and just play with it, and just get familiar with this tab, okay? Now, what I want to talk about now is the hardest part of this business. And I want you to be able to make it the easiest part of the business. And that is talking to people consistently. So, consistency is the hardest part, right? Talking to people every day consistently is hard. Most people don't fail because the product isn't good, because the product is amazing. Right? The product gives transformations. They fail because they don't stay in enough conversations. That's the bottom line, you guys. And I have some training on the platform of if you talk to two people every single day. This is not through Instagram. This is not through a DM. This is not through Facebook. This is getting into conversations. And I'm going to show you how to get into some of those conversations. But if you talk to two people every day, 10 people a week, you're going to get one brand partner and two customers. That's 10%, okay? Customers are easy. You're going to get 10% of people to sign up for this business. But you got to learn how to talk about this business. So I call it the 2-10-1 approach. But you got to be very, very intentional. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to be intentional. So I want to tell you what not to do first when you get into some of these conversations. And that is, do not overwhelm people in the first few minutes with how amazing everything is and talking about the business. Don't do that. Big, big mistake, because you seem like a salesperson. Don't lead with this is a network marketing, direct sales, MLM business, okay? I don't hide it, but it's not what I lead with because I don't want people to go in defense. Because a lot of people have had a bad experience with direct sales because they've had a lot of bad experience with car sales, they've had a bad experience with insurance sales, they've had a bad experience with financial services, CPAs. They're just not good people. So when you bring that up, people automatically are on guard. I don't want people on guard. I also don't lead with a comp plan or how much money I'm making. Because when it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. All right? So this is what works in a normal conversation for me. Okay? Now, this conversation, for me, comes from something that my grandfather taught me a long time ago. And that's leaving people with themselves. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is I know everything about them or a lot of things about them and they don't know anything about me because I didn't talk about me. I just constantly asking them questions. And what happens by the end of that conversation, they really like you. They trust you and they're ready to listen to you. Because not most people care. Most people don't ask questions. Most people don't care about what's going on in other people's lives. So the way I do it is I first get into what they do for a living. Now, why do I ask people what they do for a living? Because most of us have an identity with that. Now, it could be a stay-at-home mom that's taking care of the family, taking care of the house. But whatever they're doing 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day is a part of their identity, okay? So I like to get in that conversation, but what I like to do is I like to dig deep. So when I say, so what do you do for a living? And they say, I'm an air traffic controller. And I say, oh my God, how long have you been doing that? Okay, question 1, 10 years. Wow, you must really love it. Tell me one thing that you really love about your job. And all this does is it starts conversation, okay? They're gonna say, I love the stress, right? Or I love the responsibility, maybe. Or they might say they hate it. Most people still do not like what they do for a living, right? And then I'm gonna ask them, okay, if there's one thing you could change about your job, your business, whatever it is, what would it be? A lot of times, weekends, time, money, all the things that I'm looking for. But I'm not gonna capitalize on that conversation, okay? What I am going to do is just ask questions. And then what happens naturally and organically is they're going to ask what? What do you do for a living? And that's the moment that you have to have your 30-second commercial ready for this business, okay? Now, my 30-second commercial looks like this. When someone says, hey, so what do you do? Now, this could be someone that knows me. What are you up to? What are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, I haven't told you? Dude, I'm in the stem cell business. And they're like, stem cell business? What is that? Do you know what stem cells do? And most of my friends have no idea. It's like, between the age of 0 and 30, 50% of your stem cells are dormant. Do you know what they do? They keep inflammation out of your body. They help you heal fast. They help you build muscle. They are the core of everything healthy in your body. But you know what's even crazier? Between 30 and 60, 95% of our stem cells are dormant. That's why we see a lot of people after the age of 60, between 80, really decline, start to get disease, start to get heart disease, Alzheimer's. All these things start setting in because we don't have the stem cells to protect us anymore. And then that's when I take my patch off. And I say, you've never seen this? You've never seen this device before? This device has changed my life more than anything's ever changed my life before. I have more energy, more mental clarity. I don't have inflammation in my body. I have no pain in my body. I'm sleeping better than I've ever slept. And I'm actually able to manage my weight better. It's crazy what this thing has done for me. And then usually, again, 30-second commercial. Most people say, well, how do I get it? I'm like, oh, that's the easiest part. You can get it one of 4 ways. You can buy it retail for $150 a month, but nobody really does that because you can get it for $99 wholesale with an auto ship every single month that you can cancel anytime. Or I can even show you how you can get it for free. And how you get it for free is you recommend 3 people to use the device and you'll get yours free every month. You don't have to pay a dime for it. But also you could become an affiliate with the company. And that's what I did because of my transformation and some of my closest friends' transformations. It became my social responsibility to share this with as many people as I possibly can. And so the company actually pays me for that. Which one sounds most appealing to you? And I always have learned in sales, you always want to give people multiple choices. Because if you just say, are you interested? It's a 50-50 chance. It's never a yes or no question. Which one of these sounds most appealing to you? It's an assumed sale, right? So that's how I do my 30-second commercial. Right now, I'll ask people if, to get into a conversation, hey, how's your energy day today? Oh man, I drink so much coffee, but now I'm in the conversation. I'm in the stem cell business, man. One of the main things that stem cells do is give you energy. What do you know about stem cells, right? So that's another way to get into a conversation. Or I'll just be like, hey, what do you know about stem cells? Or I'll say, hey, do you have any pain in your body? Are you dealing with any injuries? Oh, dude, my back. I mean, everyone always has something. I see somebody drinking an energy drink. I go up to people all the time, and I'm like, do you know what's in that thing? Have you ever looked at the ingredients? What do you drink that for? Oh, dude, I'm just low energy. I want to get a good workout. I'm like, what if I could show you something that's holistic, that doesn't put anything into your body, and it actually is waking up your stem cells and helping you reverse your age? People are open to that, right? Do you 50 years old? I can tell you at 50 years old, you kind of get stuck with your health and your performance, right? Things just aren't the same. All right. Now, who are the people that you should reach out to? Every time I'm in the gym, I always find someone to talk to. Always, always, always. If I'm in the sauna, I'm going to start a conversation with someone. I got my devices on. People are asking me all the time, am I a diabetic? Is that a glucose monitor? I'm like, I'll never be a diabetic with the stem cell patch. They're like, what's that? Boom, I'm into the conversation. It's something that's changed my life more than anything's ever changed my life before. But you could build this business with the people you already know. Friends and family, they're the toughest, you guys. I'm telling you right now, they're the toughest because they're the hardest critics. But they're the best to practice on. Old coworkers, people you went to school with, social media contacts. People are like, oh, I only got 200 followers. If you get 10% of your 200 followers, that's 20 people. That'll change your business in a heartbeat. Those 20 people could become 2,000 people if you use this system. What about people already in direct sales, other companies? No one has this product, you guys. This is not a Me Too product. There's no other product that we're competing with out there. Here's a simple assignment I want you guys to do. This is what I do. This is how I contact people every day. I go to my phone. I go to my contacts. This is my contacts. If you go out, I have 3,031 contacts on my phone. Okay? I'm going to go to all my contacts. And what I do is I'll just set my phone down and I'll just scroll, however long I want to scroll today, and I'm going to stop. Jim Ushelback, I worked with him at Allstate, 10 years ago. I'm going to call him tomorrow. But I'm going to call him up and I'm going to call him something else. I'm going to say, hey, Jim Smith, what's going on? Now, I'm not doing anything shady. The reason I do this is because he's on my chicken list. If I call Jim and I act like I'm calling Jim, he's going to be wondering why I'm calling him. But if I say it's Jim Smith, he's like, oh, this is Jim Ushelback. Oh, my God, Jim. My God, are you still with Allstate? What are you doing these days? Oh, yeah, I'm with Allstate. I'm an area vice president with them. Awesome. Really? Man, you've been there for 25 years. What do you love about that job? What would you change about it? And then he's going, hey, what are you up to? Dude, funny enough, man, I'm in the stem cell business. Stem cell business? What do you do in stem cell business? Well, what do you know about stem cells? Did you know this? Same talk I just taught you guys. It's the same thing, right? But you're not like calling the person up with an intent. It's just the conversation evolves. I'm going to ask him how his family is. I'm going to ask him how things are going in his life, vacation, how he's been. I'm going to build that rapport with him. It's going to take me 10, 15 minutes. Now, he might not want to come to the business. That's cool. But I guarantee you, him being 60 years old, he's got some issues he's dealing with that I can talk him through. And now he's going to be a customer. Just because he's just a customer doesn't know he doesn't know somebody that could be a huge person that could change your life. In our comp plan, you can make up to $20,000 per person per week in this business if you have somebody that comes in as a superstar and has a huge network. That's $80,000 a month off one person you can make in this business. Get 5 of those. How much are you making? It's $400,000 a month. Can you spend 2 or 3 years talking to 2 people every single day to find those 5 people? It's not unrealistic, you guys. So pull your phone out, scroll through, don't just pick the number, just call them up, say the wrong name, and they're like, oh my God, Jim, how you doing? Like, you know who you're calling, but just act like it's a surprise so you can get into the conversation. Okay? Very, very, very simple process to do. Okay? Now, the main objective with this, you guys, the most effective way to do this is I patch people. On the store, they have these little 10 envelopes for $5. I put 10 patches in each one. And when I talk about it, I zip that thing open. It's a clean pack. And I put the patch on them. I show them where to wear it. I tell them how to wear it for 12 hours on, 12 hours off, to drink at least half your body weight in water. It's really, really important. And you got to do this for 90 days. If you don't do it for 90 days, you're not going to see the results as fast. You might feel something in 2 to 3 days, but you got to give this thing at least 90 days to do its job, because there's a lot of stuff inside that it's working on. And you might not feel something immediately. But I get patches on people. Now, I used to put patches in baggies. And literally, I think people thought I was a drug dealer in the gym. When I would do that, I'd pull a baggie out and hand it to somebody, and with white devices in there, from afar, it looks like something else. So do the envelopes. They're a little bit more professional. They're very, very inexpensive to do that, okay? Now, the main thing you do to get momentum in this business is you got to get it on people. Because when people try it, I had my transformation in 2 days. Their belief grows. Conversations get easier. Referrals happen. Your confidence rises. So that's what's important. Now, I want to reiterate this, you guys. Use the system. Use Wellness Rev. Use our calls. Use our opportunity calls. Because if you do that, it's going to make your life easier. I want you to focus on talking to people. I want you to focus on learning how to talk to people. Now, a process of learning how to talk to people, you guys, I didn't talk too much about the device. I talked about what our stem cells do. I talked about what this did. If you get too complicated, what I've noticed is the more educated people are, if you got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, an MD, you complicate it and you talk about people's head. Keep it really, really simple, what this device does. We've made all of this simple for a reason, so that everyone can understand. Comp plan training is broken down for you guys into short videos. I want you guys to just take a little bit of time every day. If you've got another job, just take 10 or 15 minutes and invest in this business consistently 5 days a week. I promise you, if you do that, put it on your calendar. If it's right before you go to bed, or right when you get up in the morning, or right in your heavy traffic time, just set up in your car, listen to it, listen to what you're going to listen to that day, and start to learn about this business. And everything we have, you guys, on the website is in English and Spanish. You can click on that website and click everything in English and Spanish. There's a Spanish tab, all the videos are Spanish. English tab, all the videos in English. So there's no reason, if you're Spanish on this call or you're English on this call, why you don't have all the resources to help your people, okay? The onboarding tab walks you through step by step. The calendar tab under the onboarding, all these calls, all you have to do is click on that on the calendar, and tonight's call, you click on that link, you can copy and paste that link and send it out to the person that just signed up for the business. Show them that site, show them where they can see all the calls. If you want to know when our calls are, even though we put them in Telegram, we put them in WhatsApp, you can go to our website anytime to be able to do and know where these calls are. Let me see. Like I said, the 210-1, you guys, it's just an approach to numbers. And I want to break some numbers down for you really quick, okay? This is how I know you can make that much money. So if you talk to 2 people a day and you sign up 1 person a week, which does not seem like a lot, right? It's like, man, I talked to 10 people and I only got 1. And what most people do is they focus on the 9 that said no. But if you get 52 people in a year in your business, and you only get half of those 52 people to do half of what you did, meaning they get 1 person every other week, 26 people in a year, you would have 3,152 people in your business in 18 months by duplicating, trying to get them to talk to 2 people a day. But if they only talk to 1 person a day, if you could get them 1 person a day, they would get half your results. Let's say those 3,000 people only got half the results, and you did the same thing that next year with those 3,000 people, and they only got 1 person every other week, 26 people in a whole entire year. You would have 35,000 people in your organization that would pay you probably between 40 and 50,000 a week. 40 or 50,000 a week. If you're consistent and you talk to those people every single day and you get good about talking about this business, that's what this business could do for you. There's no other business in the world, you guys. I've been in traditional business for so many years. There's no other business in the world that you can do what you can do here. And this is the most beautiful thing about it, coming from an entrepreneur. There's no overhead. It's 100% profit. It's 100% the bottom line. Traditional business, I don't care what, I was in a clothing business, I was in restaurant business, I was in retail, I was in coaching, I was in insurance, I was in financial services, marketing, all those businesses, your profit margin is anywhere between 12 and 18%. The rest of it's expenses. Staff, overhead, office, computers, technology, all the things that go into running a business. And in this business, you have no overhead, zero. So all of what you make goes into your bank account. That's what's beautiful about this business, you guys. So every day, just spend 15 minutes talking to 2 people and your business will grow. You're going to get better at talking about this business. Make sure people are using the resources. Now, what I want to do real quick, I saw some questions in the chat. I want to answer a couple of your questions, and if you guys want to raise your hand if you have any questions about what I taught tonight, I want to give you guys that space for about 10 minutes to be able to help you do that. Let me just see, I think there was a question in the chat. Let me see. If there's anything in Spanish, yeah, there looks like there's something in Spanish, Evelyn, if you could tell me what that is.
Sí, había una pregunta respecto al envío, al pedido mensual.
Yes, there was
que
a
si
question
podíamos
about the
hacer
shipment, the monthly subscription, but I already replied.
You did? Okay, got it. And then, okay, thanks for putting that in the chat, Evelyn. That's awesome. So what I say that this device does in a short way, okay? So, and again, the shorter you can do this is a great question. The shorter you can do this, the better. So what I tell people is that our stem cells are there to keep us healthy and keep us young. They keep inflammation out of our body. They keep disease out of our body. They keep toxins out of our body. They keep our collagen young. And so what this device does is it takes your GHKCU copper peptide and it elevates it, which wakes up those stem cells, which is going to push all of those bad things, and it's going to keep you young and help you age reverse. So what it's done for me is it's taken all the pain out of my body. It's taken all the inflammation out of my body. I'm sleeping 32% more than I slept before. I have more energy, mental clarity, and I have more strength than I've ever had in my entire life. Those 6 things, you guys, somebody's dealing with at least one of them. People don't sleep, they have inflammation, they have pain, they don't have the strength, they don't have the mental clarity, they're forgetful. One of those things. So that's how I do it, and I talk about the stem cells. I don't get into all the technology about that until they ask questions about the light and the photolight therapy, and I just say that this thing wakes up GHKCU copper peptide, and which then stimulates your own stem cells, and that's a good thing. And then the only other thing I say is, listen, the only side effects from this device is you could get a little headache or you can feel a little sleepy, and all that means is your body's just telling you that you're dehydrated and you just need to drink a little bit more water. If you do that, you're going to get the energy and the headache's going to go away instantaneously. But there's no other side effects. And you guys feel free to unmute and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is the opportunity for that. I want to create that for you guys to be able to ask any questions you guys have, or if you're talking to somebody, if you have an issue, let's talk about it. Let me help you guys out. Don't be shy. Okay, there's a question, Evelyn, in Spanish. And listen,
Sí,
you
ya,
can
ahora
ask
sí.
your question in Spanish and it'll be translated for me. So if you speak Spanish, don't be afraid to unmute and ask me in Spanish, and then I'll be able to answer you and you'll understand me in Spanish.
Sí, la pregunta es, ¿cómo
Yes,
podemos
the
gestionar
question
nuestros
is,
negocios
how
en efectivo?
can we manage our business?
La pregunta es, ¿cómo podemos
The
gestionar
question
nuestros
is, how
negocios
can
en
we manage
efectivo?
our
Temas de
business
compliance, la industria es muy
without
fuerte y no les
issues with
agrada que
compliance? It's a
que
strong
buenos
industry and they
resultados.
don't like
Se refiere a los
to
resultados.
talk
¿Cómo
us to talk
manejamos
about good
compliance?
results. So
De los
how
que
can we
tanto
manage
les
results with
exponemos y
compliance
por ahí
when we
crear alguna
expose our results
controversia?
that could create controversy?
It's a great question, Martin. So this is you cannot talk about things on social media. You could talk about very limited things on social media about discomfort. You can talk about, sleep. You could talk about all the compliance stuff is on the website, which you can and can't talk about. One-on-one, you could talk about all the things that this device does. If I'm talking to Usario, I can talk exactly about what this device does. If I'm talking to Joe, I'm going to tell him exactly what this device has helped me with. I just can't go on social media and blast it. We cannot make claims on social media. That's the FTC and the FDA that keeps us from doing that. But as far as in a one-on-one conversation that you're having with someone, all day long you can have that conversation around what this device does. We have a patent. We just don't talk about it online to keep off of the radar of the FTC and the FDA. Because it is a wellness device. David talked about this last week on our call where we had like 600 people on the call. He talked about this with the FDA. Like if we go to the FDA, they're going to take this off the market because of making medical claims. So because it's a wellness product and we don't want it to come off the market, then we have to talk about it correctly online the right way. But when you're talking to someone one-on-one, you can have a conversation with what it's done for you, and you can talk about your testimony or other people's testimony. So it's a great question. Just can't do it online. You can't do it on social media. You can't do it, out in the public. But if you're having a conversation with Myra, you could tell Myra Diaz, hey, this is what the patch has done for me. This is what the device has done for me. Any other questions? Evelyn, what is in Zoom?
Pregunta.
Yeah, you could do it private in Zoom, of course.
Posteriormente pregunta que en un Zoom privado, sí, bueno, mientras no sea el
Yes,
público.
about a private Zoom. As long as it's not in public, you can express that.
Anybody else? Mercedes.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Hi, good
Mi nombre
evening.
es Carolina.
My name
Hey,
is
Carolina.
Carolina.
Soy nueva. Soy
I'm new.
prácticamente, bueno, pues tengo 2 meses
I'm practically new. I've been using the patches for 2 months, and I'm fascinated. I'm recommending them a lot. I bought first my 3-pack, and since I saw how well I felt, truthfully, I just upgraded immediately to Plus. And I feel happy. I filled out my profile with everything they asked us. But since I'm going to the Spanish classes, I'm not sure if due to the reason that they come from other countries, I hear that you need to fill out a certain form. I don't know if it's for taxes here or something like that. And I would like to know, since I'm in the US, what the information that I sent, is that the only thing I have to do? Or do I have to fill anything out for taxes?
If you're in the U.S., if you filled out all of your information in the back office, you should be fine.
Okay.
They're gonna send you a 1099 at the end of every year.
Okay, perfecto. Nada más quería saber.
Perfect. That's all I wanted to know.
If you have any other questions along the lines, the best thing to do is to call customer service. Evelyn, can you put the phone number, or Justin, put the customer service number in the chat, please? And just, they have Spanish people there that can answer your questions. I just want to make sure everything you did is correct. They can look at your account and make sure that you're all set up and you're ready to get paid, and also that they're gonna tax you correctly. So at the end of the year, they'll send you a 1099 and you'll give that to your accountant or whatever when you file those taxes. But just call customer service and just make sure. And that goes for everyone on here. If you guys would just, if you ever have any questions along details like that, customer service is the best to answer those questions to make sure you're set up correctly. And they're going to put, there you go.
Muchísimas gracias.
So that's the phone number.
Okay,
That's the phone
thank you.
number for customer support.
Okay, perfecto. Muchísimas gracias.
Okay, thank you so much. I am going to be entering these calls. This is my first time that I'm going into an English call, and it's very interesting. Thanks for all the information.
So we have our calls they circulate, right? So Monday and Thursday 1 week we have Spanish, 1 week we have English, but it always has interpretation. So we'll always have it. Do you have the interpretation on right now?
Sí, sí,
Okay,
estoy
good.
escuchando,
So
gracias.
if anybody's speaking English, now we do have separate English and Spanish calls. So like our opportunity calls, we have English and Spanish at the same time. Our testimonial calls, they're in English and Spanish at the same time. And then we have a training call on Thursdays. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. Is that right, Justin? Or 8 o'clock? They're in English and Spanish, but it just depends on who's giving the class, and we'll always have interpretation on it.
Ok, perfecto. Muchísimas gracias.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And then, Evelyn, there was a question from Mercedes Vega. I don't think I answered that.
Sí, hay otra que pregunta, ¿qué es el
Yes,
método que más te ha
she's
funcionado para
asking, what is a method that has worked best for you to share the device?
Like I said, Mercedes, what I do is I just get into conversations with people. I don't go in selling the device to anybody. At first, I get to know them and ask about what they do, and then I get to a point where they ask me what I do. So I think the biggest mistake people make in this business is actually just launching into this device, this business, and it just comes across as like salesy. So your close rate goes down. But when I launch into getting to know people and asking them what they do, what they like, what they would change, and again, I don't ask what they don't like. I ask what they would change, because I don't like to ask negative questions. So, and the reason I ask the questions of what they love and what they don't love, or what they would change, I'm able to cater my presentation to that person, because they've told me, hey, I want to make more money, or I don't want to work weekends, I don't want to work evenings, I don't want to, I don't like what I do. So in my presentation, I'll put that at the end. I'll say, and by the way, I mean, this is something that could replace your job, or this is something that you could make enough money and not have to work on the weekends. So I'll bring back what they tell me. And then if they say, hey, I love working with people, one of my favorite things about my job is I get to work with people. Well, this is a people business. This is that's what I love about this too, is because I'm helping people. I'm helping people's health. I'm helping their wellness. I'm helping their longevity. That's what I love about this device. So that's how I get into the conversation. I never go into the conversation trying to sell the device, because if you do that, then they're going to be like, that's why you talk to me. The same thing for follow-up, you guys. This is the thing, right? The bad thing is 10% close rate in this business. Understand, it's a 10% close rate in any business. When I was in the insurance business, 10% of the clients I talked to, I closed. 90% I didn't close. But the way that I looked at it is I had 100% close rate. And what I mean by 100% close rate is this. At some point, they're going to become my customer, because I'm so good at follow-up. Now, when I follow up with somebody, how I follow up with them is not how people follow up. I follow up based on our conversation, not about the device. I don't ever bring up the device. Now, you guys notice I keep saying device, right? I don't say patch. I say device. Patch, I believe, cheapens it. It's a device, right? It's doing a job. And so that's the reason I use device. Now, when I talk about this device to people, when I call them back up for the follow-up, I call them, hey, how's your job going? You said one thing you would love to change about where you work is this. Were you ever able to get that changed? How's the family? And then they're going to say, hey, how's that stem cell device thing you talked about? And then that's when you have to be ready for your 30-second commercial again, but it changes. It's got to be like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I talked to you about that. I don't even remember what I told you, but whatever I told you, multiply it by 1,000,000. Because it is an amazing device. It is changing my life. It's changing so many people's lives. So now I've got a second chance to go in and talk about it, because they ask me about the device. They ask me. So now it's my opportunity to be like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever, right? Because it is. And so then they're going to be like, oh, so if you call them up, you guys, and the first thing out of your mouth is, hey man, I'm just following up to see if you're ready to start wearing that device, they're never going to answer your phone call again. But if you call them up to talk about their life, leave them with themselves, see what's going on. Now, if someone, I put a patch on them, I want to follow up and see how they feel, I still don't follow up first and ask them how they feel. I'm going to make notes and I'm going to put on my calendar, because if you're going to follow up with somebody, you guys, if they said no, the first thing you need to do, this device that we all have in our phone has a calendar on it, correct? The second thing it has on the side is a button that you could push that Siri will put whatever you want on your calendar. Right now, if I push this button and I say, Siri, put on my calendar tomorrow at 12 noon to meet with Joe Kendrick about the device. I talked to him about his family being on vacation in Disney. I also talked to him about going back to work starting in September. And I released that button. It just put it on my calendar. I don't have to think about it anymore. If I'm going to follow up with him in 90 days, I'm just going to say follow up on, November 17th and with Joe Kendrick. And now I can forget about it. But November 17th, I know that I do these voice notes. I put them on my calendar. I'm going to call Joe and I'm like, hey, Joe, how was that vacation at Disney with your family? Oh, it was amazing. I know you're going back to work in August. How's that going? It's going amazing. How's that stem cell thing you told me about, Jay? Oh my God. Changed my life more than anything ever. Right? So this is all, if you take these approaches, you guys, I promise you're going to get a lot more close rates, because when you go after people and you're just after them and you have one focus, and that's to get them signed up. And so this is the other thing I'll leave you guys with tonight, okay? Meet people where they are, not where you want them to be. Okay? Meet people where they are, not where you want them to be. And what I mean by that is, that's why I give 4 choices. You want to buy it retail? You want to buy it wholesale? You want to get it for free? Or you want to get paid to share it with people? Because I gave them 4 choices. And I always ask, what sounds most appealing to you? If they tell me I want to get it for free, cool. Who's 3 people right now that you think could use this device? I'll call them with you. If they say I just want to get it as a customer, great. I'm not going to try to talk them into becoming a brand partner. I'm going to meet them where they are, but I'm going to follow up with them in 2 months and I'm going to say, hey, Mercedes, how are you feeling? How's the device doing? Oh my God, Jay, I can't tell you how much energy I have. I feel so much better. Well, listen, Mercedes, you can get this thing for free, right? I'm sure there's 3 people that we could talk to that get this for free. Or, if you want to just share it with everybody because you have such transformation like I did, the company will also pay you for it. Which one sounds most appealing to you? I'd love to get it for free. Cool. They refer 3 people in a week. You call them up and like, listen, you got 3 people to sign up. The company could pay you for this, right? So I'm going to follow up with them again. So that's what you have to think about with this business, is you got to have a system. And you don't have to have any other training system. All you got to do is have a talking system. But everything, you guys, the calendar is free. The only way you're going to remember how to do stuff is to put it on your calendar. You don't have to write it down. You don't have to type it down. You just hold that little button and tell Siri what to do and what to put on your calendar, and it's done. And now you manage your business from your phone. And now when you call people, you have all those notes of people that you were talking to. Okay? That's my time, you guys. I got an interpreter that I have to let go because she has other calls. But thank you guys so much for joining the call tonight. And I look forward to meeting with all of you in the future. I don't know if you guys are going to conference or not. If you're not, it's not too late to get a ticket. I will tell you, conference for me changed my life. Meeting David, seeing that this is a real legitimate company. We're going to actually have a get together on Friday night out at conference for everybody. We're gonna rent a room or a hotel room or whatever and get together and kind of just talk and have questions and spend time with you guys. We're also going to all sit together as a team. So, it doesn't matter. We have upfront seats, but we're going to sit with all of you guys because we want to spend time with you guys. So make sure people know about this conference. It's not that expensive to go. The ticket's not that much. And it's going to be a very, very, very good thing to see all you guys out there, okay? So I look forward to seeing you guys soon, and have a great, great night, you guys.